welcome to Wolf Farms. I'm Dawn, also known as Mitten Wolf with a Fuji ear.
And that's Fuji. Give him lots of kisses.
It is kiss time.
Yeah, and I'm James, also known as Wolf Photo. This podcast is brought to you by Wolf Farms. You can find us on the internet at wolffarms.net. We have a special every month, 25% off selected scent, and this month, for the month of February, is fresh cut roses. Ooh, so you can, that's okay. Get our lotions, soaps, bath salts, candles, anything in the fresh cut roses fragrance for 25% off. Plus we have other sale items as well. Want to welcome new and returning viewers. Thanks for joining us today. Got all sorts of good stuff on tap for the day, huh?
Yeah, we have farm happenings, what's cooking, in the coop, to market, squeal like a pig, in the arena, and roundup.
All right. Wow. So,
well, I guess we should start with the elephant in the room first. Blip.
Oh, you want to go there? I was going to say go with Fuji's.
Are you the elephant?
She's like, I'm uncomfortable. Just get it over with. Let me go.
Okay, we'll do Fuji first.
Yeah.
Do we do Fuji first?
You want to do Fuji? Yeah. She says, yeah, I've had enough.
Yeah.
I've had enough.
She had her chemo on Fuji as our Chihuahua here, and she was diagnosed with lymphoma in August and has been undergoing chemo treatments. She has 3 more treatments left of her regime.
Yeah.
And she had chemo on Monday, and everything's gone well. Good blood work, and
yeah, everything's looking good. The doctor's quite pleased with how she's responding, and you know, the unfortunate thing is you know, when we wrap up in 3 more sessions, which actually is probably about 2 months, then it's just a waiting game, and that's the unfortunate thing is because we have to monitor, and it will probably come back. She says some dogs, you know, it goes a long time, but you know, we just have to monitor it. So, but she says the treatment that she's going through has worked so well that she has no concerns about going back through that if we need to. Yeah. You know, so I mean, it really, cancer sucks, you know, and that's, you know, one of the things that there's no cure, but we'll just have to, you know, do what we can do to
well, I know someone responded to one of her Instagram photos. That's, I don't want to say name, but she's a 20-year lymphoma survivor, which I know she's a dog. It's not going to be no 20 years, but you know.
Yeah, but it's you know, like I said, it
that gave me a lot of hope and
it's manageable, and like I said, so it's just a matter. Dawn is very in tune with what's going on with Fuji. That's why we found it so quickly, and we're able to address it before it got very far. You know, back in August, it was something that you know, and so this is one of those things that she'll be hypersensitive on checking daily on the lymph nodes and stuff, but hopefully she goes a long ways before we have to actually go back and visit with the oncologist, but she's doing good. Everything's good. Doctor's happy, huh?
Yeah.
She's like, don't talk about the doctor. I don't want to go see her.
So we thought we would show you, since she's doing good, some of her tricks.
Yeah, so. She's gone through training. We went through training a couple rounds of it. When
3 rounds, yeah.
You know, so
because I was actually going to have her as a therapy dog when we first got her, but she's not that friendly to.
She doesn't like.
She doesn't have
men,
the personality.
and she's.
I mean, she blew, you know, her training out of the water. She's the only one that's ever done the stay up at the front of the store for 30 minutes with no one around. You know, people shopping and her just sitting there, not moving for 30 minutes. She only needed 15 minutes in order to pass the thing, and I mean, she probably could have gone longer. I think I was the more anxious one. You know, unleashed, just sitting there. So
yeah, she's very intelligent. Yeah. So, but yeah, so let's cut over the video. We'll show you some of the tricks that Fuji does, because she's quite the entertainer. So let's go on over. Should mommy do the tricks? You sit. Can you do a wave? Good girl. Why don't you do the tricks and then...
Okay. Turn. Good girl. Down. Yes, good girl. Round. Oh, round. Good girl. Yeah. Wave. Yeah. What's the other ones?
Turn around.
Mm-hmm. Yay! Such a good girl. Want to do it down again? Oh, yeah. Sit. Sit. Ah. Leave it. Leave it. Leave it. Okay.
Good girl.
Good.
Wow,
You're
back.
so smart.
You're so talented. Oh, you tried to... Here, give Daddy a kiss. There you go.
Yeah, you go.
Okay, well, let her go. All right, so that's the little elephant in the room,
Yeah.
the Fuji. And now back to the big elephant, which is our blip drama.
Yeah. We got the letter this past couple weeks, that they were discontinuing podcast on feeding onto iTunes.
Yeah, the iTunes support from Blip was getting shut down at the end of February.
End of February.
End of February, yeah. So we were, kind of had that in mind, and we've kind of had a game plan in place to get that taken care of, and
seamless.
Yeah. So you guys, our viewership would not know anything. We generally don't the behind the scenes, how we get the podcast that we generally don't talk about. That's if it shows up without a problem, then there's no need to discuss. But unfortunately, Blip decided to start early without notifying anyone. So I think they're putting the brakes on to force people off. I don't know why, if they tell you end of February that they would change things up before then, but our plan behind the scenes was to basically get it moved over elsewhere, and then you guys wouldn't even know that there was any change, and that's kind of what we hope to accomplish, is that you don't have to think too much about it. You just push play and it goes. But unfortunately, our last podcast did not make its way up to iTunes. I'm sure this has to do with Blip's stuff, and unfortunately, as of this podcast, we still don't have things in place yet. But what's going to happen is we're actually going to do our own hosting of our podcast on our Wolf Farms site, which will have an RSS feed out to iTunes. So we'll be basically getting that set up. So I'll be working on basically getting everything in place for that over the next week or so. We were hoping that the delay from Blip to iTunes was a temporary thing, but here we're a week later and still no upload to iTunes. We notice our subscribership on YouTube has gone up, and if you've moved from iTunes over to YouTube, we appreciate that. But hopefully in the next, probably not for this podcast, but the following one, we'll have everything in place and we'll be able to basically start feeding back to iTunes again. And I'm concerned with Blip not supporting iTunes. All of our historical backlog of episodes are going to be an issue too, because Blip actually stores the files that get fed into iTunes. So if they stop support for iTunes, they didn't go into too much detail in their email, but it could actually take offline all of our historical stuff on iTunes. So if that's the case, then I'll have to make sure that iTunes gets redirected to our site, and I'll have to backfeed all of our past episodes. We're on episode 132. That's a lot of upload, and it'll take some time to get those episodes up. So if you're new and you're wanting to get caught up on our back issues, so to speak, you can do it through iTunes, and hopefully it doesn't break, but I really don't know.
Well, they're on YouTube. They're also on the wolffarm.blogspot.com.
Yeah, they're in other locations, but if you're an iTunes viewer, you got your iPad and you want to watch it from there or whatever, that's, the way you do it. So, I know our biggest viewership comes out of iTunes. We have a lot because of the subscriptions and all. It's just easier for people, I think. So, unfortunately, a big chunk of our viewership is affected by this. So if you watch us on YouTube already, then you're good. And if you watch us through our blog or the Blip player, you're good. But if you're on iTunes and wondering why we took a week off, we actually didn't.
Yeah, in 2.5 years, there hasn't been one day off.
We've been consistent. Weekly Monday uploads of the podcast, and everybody starts their week off with Wolf Farms. And we like to give you that little bit of humor to start your week off. And unfortunately, we weren't laughing last Monday when iTunes didn't work out. So our cat's trying to open the office door. Literally, he's got his paw in there. So anyway, so we apologize for that. It's Blip doing whatever they want to do. And I know that in the past there's other podcasts that have had issues and they've got bumped from Blip for different reasons. And I think this is just another round of Blip doing their thing. So, but like I said, ultimately we're going to actually just self-host it, and I'm going to talk with the people we host our service through and actually increase some of the performance stuff that we need for our website to be able to feed and stream video. That's one of the things. Our website's not built out for that right now, but it's not a big deal for me to up the what we're capable of doing on our website. So I've already actually got things set up to test, and it's working. But when we start getting all the hundreds of people start streaming, our podcast off there, that's where the hiccup's going to be. And so I want to make sure ahead of time that all of that's built out before we turn on the switch. So we apologize, but that's the game plan, and hopefully you can watch us temporarily on YouTube if you are unable to get it on iTunes for the next week. Our past episode and this one, and then we'll try and get things in place so it'll go back to iTunes again. So,
yeah.
So there's the elephant. So what else?
That can wait till the Coop.
What's that?
The next thing on the list.
In the Coop? Oh yeah, that's okay. See, the secret. You gotta wait till in the Coop. Oh wait, what's cooking?
Oh, I forgot about that. What's cooking? This week I made cauliflower pizza. I saw that Kagi TM had made it, and she posted the recipe, so I went and I thought, Jimmy loves pizza. This is a good way to sneak in the veggies, and I'll put the link on here. It's kitchenradio.com, and I made it, and I needed to get more water out of the cauliflower, because once you grind it up in your
blend it up food processor.
Yeah, food processor. Vitamix.
Crunch. Liquefy.
No, not liquefy. You weren't supposed to go that far.
Okay.
A ricey texture. And then you cook it in the microwave, and then you're supposed to get a lot of the water out, and I was in a hurry.
Yeah. Impatient redhead.
So, it tasted good. Mm-hmm. It just didn't get the crunch.
Yeah. Well, they had it when Don made it when I was at work on Friday, and so I didn't get to try it until yesterday, because I got the leftovers, But I heated it up, and it's funny because we both kind of were talking about the flavor, because you don't really taste. It doesn't taste. Cauliflower doesn't have a taste, so it actually works well as a replacement for flour, because flour really doesn't have a taste either. But it really reminded us of the manicotti, the cheese. That's what type of cheese was that? Is it manicotti cheese? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that's what really it tasted like. So you can almost take that, mix it up, and stuff it in pasta shells and have manicotti and have no cheese really at all, because Dawn can't have cheese. And so that might actually be a good option, because we used to love having the manicotti, but the cheese, it's actually allergy more than a lactose thing.
It's not
so
lactose.
it's actually allergy. So Don, doesn't matter whether you get lactose free stuff, it doesn't work. So that might be an option for us to have manicotti.
It works all right.
TMI. But so basically, it might be an option apart from the pizza crust is actually to blend together with the seasonings and stuff, and actually stuff the shells and have manicotti.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Cauliflower cotti.
And then when Jimmy was helping me, once it was done, he's like, "Oh, it's got a mashed potato texture," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
You can have it. You replace mashed potatoes,
Yeah.
Get
Less starchy vegetables. So
see, I like cauliflower. Someone else.
Well, I explained to Don, it's not that I don't like it, I don't care for it. There's a difference. There's very few things that I don't like, and they're amazed that one of the things that I really don't like, caramel. I do not like caramel, and I don't know why that is. I just don't. And it's beyond the I don't care for it. It's I really don't like it. And
he gets the gag.
Yeah, TMI again. This is the TMI episode. So.
Yeah.
But I don't like caramel. It's like one of like 4 things that I don't like. Everything else is fair game.
That word always makes me laugh because everybody says it different. Caramel or caramel or caramel or
crapamel. Yeah, I do not like caramel. So
no matter how I say it.
Yeah, caramel by any other name, you know what I say. So, but yeah, so that's one of the things I don't like. But cauliflower, it's not that I don't like it, I just don't care for it because it has no flavor. It's just texture. And so I prefer broccoli. The steamed broccoli, that's good. Good stuff. But cauliflower, it's if I had a choice, I would not eat it. And it's not because I don't like it. I just don't. It doesn't do anything for me. So
then I also baked some paleo blackberry banana muffins, and I have no idea where I found the recipe. It's in one of my ebooks, and I don't know which one it is. And it's it's practically no carbs because it's using the coconut flour in it, and would been better with. See, I'm not putting the recipe up because it needs to be tweaked. Because the blackberries, the seeds in it is what was distracting. If it was blueberries, I think it would have been perfect.
Yeah.
And it didn't have a banana, taste. It's just enough. So need to tweak that. But it was like I ate half of one, and it was like, ooh, I was full for a long time. And
that was
because the coconut flour is high fiber. So it's with the high glycemic, or is it low glycemic?
It's low glycemic.
Low glycemic. So it doesn't spike your blood sugar. It's just an even kill, So that's another good thing.
Yeah,
so
cauliflower pizza was really filling too, more so than I was expecting.
So are you hungry now?
So yeah, I was actually.
What you eating on?
We had no major cooking failures this week.
No.
Just like I said, I could see where the seeds in that muffin were a little challenging.
You have some more though
I know. Got the rest of the batch to eat.
This is my garbage disposal.
Yeah. See, because I only don't like 4 things, it's really easy to give me everything else and let me eat it. Huh?
Yep. So in the Coop, this week, I did 7 of because this week I actually counted correctly, on my Scrappy Happy blanket. Are you getting sick of seeing this yet? And a lot of this was my Gnome Acres Valentine thing that I showed last week, minis. So these are all the Gnome Acres, and then one down here, and then these 2 are Sock Bunny that she sent me a big bag of her things.
So out of the mini skeins, when you do a square, how much do you usually have left when you're done?
Quite a bit.
Quite a bit? I'm going to say, I don't think those take that much.
No.
So, and I know you're not, won't repeat any of her yarns. So no. I guess for Scrappy Happy Blanket number 2, she could do another one.
That's exactly what's going to end up happening. Or like the barn raising square, maybe do it a little different.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna say for those mini skeins, as small as they are, I still could imagine that there's quite a bit left when you get done.
Well, because these squares are, what, 2 inch by 2 inch?
They don't take a lot.
Yeah.
So.
And I think she has 20 to 30 yards within the No Maker minis, so I'm sure you could get quite a few of them in that.
Yeah.
Have to ask Sun Daisy 920 because she's trying to do most of her blanket in No Makers. So, and she is repeating the colors, so it'd be interesting to see how many she gets out of one of those. Angie, speak up. So, yeah.
It's coming along.
Yeah.
That's nice. Little.
The morning warm up.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's so you get to wrap up a kind of mini project every morning. You know.
So then, in my brown dog bag, love this bag because I love this handle she has because it's like I'm done. I don't know why. That just thrills me every time. I just snorted. So this is my good
We
day.
haven't been drinking, by the way, other than Wolf Farm water there.
That's all
That's
I
the
drink.
secret, huh?
Yeah, farm fresh water.
Yeah.
See what you're missing? This is by Cecily Glowick McDonald. The Good Deal. And the Hiya 6s. And what yarn is this? It's yarn.
Purple.
Yarn.com.
Eggplant.
Northampton Sport.
Is it eggplant color?
In the eggplant color. I always get my middle finger and then I feel like I'm being bad.
That's no reflection on the viewership, by the way.
So there's the Dicky-Doo. This is the left front. So from the Dicky-Doo down, what is that, about 5-6 inches? Yeah, quite a bit. So I've separated for my sleeves. They're on waste yarn. So it's coming along.
Yeah.
I tried
Faster now that you're on
half of it
Hiya-Hiyas,
on.
huh?
Yeah. I tried half of it on. And I was reading ahead in the pattern, which I don't normally do, which you should really read your pattern. And the construction of the pocket is going to be so much fun. Because this is where you see the I cord.
Yep.
Maybe not. Or here's an even better one. Come on.
Oh, okay.
So see
Turns
that
into a pocket.
that is a pocket. It's like, I'm assuming it's going to flip over. I don't want to give the pattern away, but it's like, wow, am I going to do that? And so, yeah.
Getting your twang there, huh? How's you gonna get to do that?
See, this is the fun part. So you got to get a brown dog bag to do that.
Just
I
don't
love
pull
that.
the zipper all the way off. That
I know,
is
huh?
on camera.
See, that's just a test of how good her sewing
Yeah.
is. And it just makes a tinkle.
A tinkle, huh? TMI.
Brown dog tinkling.
See the things you learn on our podcast.
So the next bag, another Chihuahua bag, which is a bird leg bags from Angie, is Piper's Journey by Paula Emmons Feasley.
Trouble approved.
Paula Emmons Feasley's meow. And I am doing this on size 6 Hiya Sharps. And this is Barocco Vintage DK in the Douglas Fir colorway. And I am so loving this yarn. It's the first time I've worked with this. So it's like, ooh, yeah. So I've done quite a bit on this. Am I getting...
I start seeing that needle fly around. I'm like, well, better back it up.
Yeah, I had only just started this last week. I'm trying to peek. So,
you're doing good.
yeah, quite a bit. I think I was 190 some. Let's test how short these are. And
Maybe I should wear some safety glasses on the podcast.
my
too.
little awesome caterpillar. My caterpillar stitch marker that keeps flipping around. Come fun.
Flippin' marker?
Flippin' marker. I love those. So, this is going to be so squishy. Well, if you got to watch last week's, these were on Nitpicks interchangeables, which I have like the original Nitpicks, like when they first came out.
Is that where it keeps catching on the?
It unscrews.
Oh, okay.
No matter how tight. I've used the little bolt thing, and it unscrews when I'm knitting, and then your yarn gets hung in there, and you forget, and you hurry and tighten it so you don't lose stitches, and then it catches. And I'm like, because usually I am one to, oh no, I don't need nothing. I don't need nothing. The other night it was like, yarngarden.com, buy needle, hiya sharp. And I'm like, honey, I just bought a needle. Usually I'll say, I really need
she'll hem and haw for months before she could get up enough justification to make the purchase. And
yeah, it was like instant buy now. Come spit out through my printer.
That just goes to show you the level of frustration she's had with that, and also the other needles that you got, the ones with the limp cable. Signatures, yeah. I know you've been needle challenged here on.
Well, and the Nitpicks are so much heavier too. Once I got this in the mail yesterday, it was like light as a feather. Yeah.
Feather.
Well, because then that thing, when you're little, light as a feather, stiff as a board, that satanic thing, you do at slumber parties. That, and you put the I'm being
and you wonder why
cream on their hand.
You wonder why Dawn's the way she is, and now you know a little bit of her past, and now I'm starting to make sense, isn't it? That's why I love you so much.
Hiya sharps, yes. Well, I got done and I bought it, and I look at him like, I got needles coming, and he's like, I was gonna get you one for Valentine's Day.
I was gonna order two. I was gonna order her two sixes, because I know she always has sixes going, and because she hems and haws, I'm like, okay, this is a perfect surprise Valentine's gift, and it went from complaining to buying in about 5 minutes. So when I was sitting on the couch, because I already started looking, because I had my computer there, so I started look around, and then she said, yeah, I just bought it. I'm like, oh, okay, well, that idea is out the door. So, oh well.
Yep.
But that's okay. She'll get something good.
So we worked on the puzzle a little bit. It's almost done.
Yeah, this puzzle's going a whole lot smoother because it's one of the 4-pack that we got. We've been kind of talking about it. The last one we did was tough. It was really tough. We still use our flashlights to make sure, but we're on the puzzle we're working on. We're doing the sky, and that's going to be the hard part.
Stalled.
Everything else went pretty smoothly, but so we a little bit at a time, and we work. You look at the color grade, the color tones and stuff to figure out which area it's going to go. But it's coming along. This one went a lot smoother than that last one. That was really tough.
Yeah, and Xtera's in the Coop.
Oh yeah, I've been working on the Xtera. Like I showed on the podcast, if you caught it last week.
I was trying to see the time.
Oh yeah,
I was trying to do that kind of casually. We're getting down.
But I showed on the podcast last week that the Xtera, basically I had it torn down to the block, and yesterday the weather was good, and it was workable, and actually, so I've got stuff going back on. I should actually have it running today, which is a good thing. So I got the heads and everything. If you guys don't know about engines, I'm going to bore you to tears here, but basically I'm to the point where it should be back together and running this afternoon. So.
Yep.
Which is a good thing. Woohoo! And I get to see and make sure I did everything right. Yep. Just kidding. No, it's not. Working on cars not that difficult. It's just
time.
Take your time. Yep. Do it right.
I'm just
give me that look
because things flash in my head.
Yeah, I know.
That rhyme.
You're going to start belting out a tune for them, too, while we're at it.
Oh,
so.
yeah, you're...
Oh, yeah, the Olympics are going, right? I have to mention this. This really doesn't have a spot in any of our stuff. But the Olympics are on, and I know we have family friends that do the curling. And so... I forget how the topic of discussion came up, and
because Jimmy goes, "Are you going to watch that boring curling?"
No, it was like something they were talking about where they're sweeping the ice or something like that, and so I break out into music from bad influence from Don here, like sweeping the ice, you know. So I'm thinking as soon as we start watching the curling on there, this background of staying alive is going to start dancing in our heads. And so now if you watch our podcast, you know what's going to happen when you start watching curling. Staying Alive music soundtrack's going to play in the background. But so yeah, I was kind of laughing about that. Completely forgot about that. That was last night's topic of discussion at dinner. See, too much information. That's just the way it's going to go today. This
is going to be a longer show. I can see it already.
Yep. I can see that our for those that see from the other side of the camera, right here is our time, and so Dawn's trying to get her hair where she can see the time a little bit.
Short.
So we know how long we've gone. So it's kind of funny. I can kind of tell when Dawn's doing the. And so you two...
Well, I guess I better preface because that could be something else. Good thing there's no smell-o-vision.
Oh, jeez. See what you guys... You see, for those that are...
Downhill skiing. Here we go. See, I'm in the Olympic form.
Yeah, I know. You've been... we never really usually watch Channel 4, and the last couple times I've turned the TV on Channel 4, I'm like, why is that?
Well, Winter Olympics is a big thing to me. I actually trained for the '84 Winter Olympics, so...
Yeah. So, yeah, she likes the... Yeah. And you like winter anyway, so...
Yes, I like
it's all good.
It's all good.
So, she's been watching, and I turn on the TV, I'm like, who's watching Channel 4? And then I have to think, okay, Olympics are on, so...
Yep. So, to market.
To market. Well, you already told them about your needles.
Oh, yeah, I bought needles. Those don't really count, because, I mean, as soon as they were in the mail onto the project.
And they came really quick, too, from, you
Georgia?
Ordered them. Yeah, you ordered them, and it took, 2 days?
2 days,
at that. First class. I mean, I was kind of surprised.
Yarngarden.com.
Yeah, on the ball.
Yeah, see, I just Googled Hiya Sharks. So I ordered some striping yarn from Desert Vista Dye Works. It's called Kiss Me at Midnight. And I ordered this to do the Kiss Kiss Lace Lace Socks by Lauren McMorty. So this is what it looks like knit up. So that came in the mail.
You got sparkly base?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sparkly.
Sparkly.
So then I needed a button for my Goodale. So I went, it's KNC Supplies on Etsy, and I started looking at the buttons, and these are, 2 of these are coconut buttons. So I wanted this one for my Goodale. Can't tell if that, here we go. These are coconut buttons. Yes, I only needed one, but they're so pretty. Then I got onto a button binge, which they were, all of this was like only like $10, $15. It wasn't much.
A lot. I know that.
A lot of buttons. And then these are just some wavy looking ones just because I thought they were so cool. So most of these are just because I thought they were so cool. This is like 150 mother of pearl buttons. And I just thought, oh, fun.
Always have a need for a button.
Yeah, you do.
Especially for the little animals and
yeah,
toys.
You can use them
and
for
stuff.
their eyes or like for the Voodoo You Love Me. And this is for my calligraphy carton because I just love, these are wood buttons. So when I knit that, I just loved them. They're just so pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So
pretty awesome.
I got button.
She's getting a button stash now.
Yeah. Well, because I want a jar. Because I've heard so many people mitten their grandma's button jar. Well, neither of my grandma's button. And I'm like, oh, when I'm old, I want to have a button jar. And because there's so much you can do with it. They can count, they can do shapes, they can, this goes back to when I taught preschool, it's like, oh, yeah. So I already got a jar.
Have to get you a jar to one of our mason jars there.
No, I got another one that you had got me to make a candle or something out of.
Oh, yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah.
I snagged it already.
That's got a nice fancy lid on it.
Fancy.
So
squeal like a pig.
Hey, you did that good.
Got a package in the mail this week from Sarah, and she is S.E. Hepworth on, this is just cool, on Ravelry, and she sent a pet blanket, a great big old honkin' pet blanket, which will be wonderful for a big dog to snuggle up in. And
not big.
It smells so good too. So thank you so much, Sarah. That was clear from over the pond there. It's always neat seeing the different postage and stuff.
Oh, yeah, from the UK.
Yeah, the UK.
Awesome.
I won't go into my
your accents.
Huh?
Yeah, they all sound the same. Doesn't matter what country, they all sound the same.
Then before I forget, oh hush you, I won on the Hot Pink Sock group. She has a blog, hotpinksocks.blogspot.com. I think that's it. I'm pretty sure. I follow it, so I don't ever type it in. Lauren's sock. You need to go away for a minute. And did I say the stripy sock was Lauren McMorty?
Yeah, you said that was part of the Desert Vista for the sock pattern.
Well, I won an ebook from Stephanie, and it is The Green Gable Knits by Joanna Johnson. And there's 8 different patterns. And that green sweater, I have to knit that. And it's got to be that neon-y lime green like that. So, but and I think Stephanie, she's already knit the apron, which I would be scared to wear it. I get
scared to wear the apron? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to get messy. I guess
I was gonna say,
you would more wear it when you're serving like a fancy dinner. Not that I serve a fancy dinner ever, but here's the Anne sweater, and I just love this. Here's the detail of it. I love that green.
I was going to say, it's in green, so...
And it's a redhead, and it makes me want my long hair back.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Until the hair hits the ears, and then it's time to run up and get it cut again.
Yep. So thank you so much, Stephanie. I forgot to mention that last week we hit end, and it was like,
Yeah. That's not the first time that we after we wrap things up, I'm like, oh, we forgot to Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when next week's show notes start.
Yeah. So that was exciting. And then I got another box this week, and this is from Paprika Pearls, and that's Caitlin. And I got to show you. She sent 3 cards. There's this one. I mean, how cute is that? And a little hedgehog one. And then this is way too funny. And how she found this card, I mean, you couldn't find a more perfect card. Because she actually sent me a little bag, and it has all these samples. Old lady samples.
Wrinkle creams.
Wrinkle creams and serums and...
Tom thinks she's getting old.
Yes, she used to see these wrinkles on my neck, and that just driving me nuts.
Yeah.
So Caitlin had posted pictures of stuff she buys. She buys lots of stuff at Ulta and stuff. So she had the samples. I'm like, and she's a youngin'. She's a young little whippersnapper. And I'm like, oh, you don't need all that wrinkle cream. And she goes, oh, I'll send it to you. I'm like, yeah, this old lady needs that wrinkle cream. And then, so I thought it would be a little bitty bag of these little samples. Caitlin is just, I couldn't even, right now even I'm getting speechless. She sent a bag of tea. I've never tried Tivana. So tea to try, little mini skein for my sock blanket, which all my control not to add it in this week, but I thought, and the bag here is, the box, she's got this fancy schmancy gold box, I mean, it was like so much fun opening this. And then she put in a skein of Mean Girls yarn. And this is like 560 yards of superwash sock in the fairy fart. Look at those colors. She just thought it would look so good, with my complexion. And
it's funny because it's Mean Girls, because we know Laura, and we've paired up with her for some of her yarn club stuff, but so I don't know that you've ever used any of her yarn, though, have you?
No, I have a skein, but I've never used it.
Yeah, because I did. Yeah,
so
pretty funny.
Yeah, this is me and Caitlin doing our facial. So that was funny. I still keep laughing over that card.
Pretty awesome.
The box is coming alive at me.
See, that's why packages need to come in on a Friday or Saturday, so you don't have to look at them all week and go, ooh, I want to start that.
Well, and I might have taken a couple of the samples out to play with, because I figured you would know.
It's funny because Dawn will leave the packages that come in just the way they come in, so she can show them before and so when a package comes in on Monday, it's like all week long. It's like,
it's kind of like Christmas packages. You can't touch them. Well, you can.
You're not supposed to, huh?
Yeah.
So. Yeah, pretty awesome.
Yep. So thanks a bunch. Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you went like that.
No.
You getting down again?
Seeing the time.
So where are we? In the arena.
Yep.
In the arena this week, I listened to 2 new audio podcasts. One is Yarns at Yinhu. I mean, and how fun is that to say Yarns at Yinhu? And that is Sarah Pomegranate, and that's Sarah. She lives in Pennsylvania. And Yarns at Yinhu, well, go listen to her podcast, and she describes what Yinhu is. Mm-hmm. And I've caught, she has like, I'm halfway, I'm like on number 12. So I think she has 20-some episodes, 24, I want to say, somewhere around there. Mm-hmm. I will link her Ravelry group, because she has a Ravelry group. And then I also listened to the Sampler Girl, and that's Tanya, and it's Tanya Marie on Ravelry. And I love her voice. It kind of reminds me of, her voice reminds me kind of of Silly Frou and Hello Lovely. So it's like, she's got this cute little giggle, and, she's got a teenager too, I think it was. See, I'm getting them mixed up, I think. I'm pretty sure. But real interesting, and keeps me entertained as I'm doing all my chores around here. And
yeah, I know you like to have something going.
Yeah, I gotta have
earbud
my
while
earbud
you're doing the
permanently connected.
Farm
to my
chores.
Ear. Yeah, it gets me.
Keeps you entertained.
Yeah, I keep hearing something.
It's your box. Is it the
it's
cat or the
alive.
box?
I thought it was the cat at first, but it's not.
No, it's that yarn, that little
yarn
mini skein jumping
out
and try and get onto your scrappy happy blanket there.
Yep. So we have our designer along, and that is with Prairie Piper, Paula Emons Feasley, her designs. And that's for 2 months, February and March. And here's her designs. And lots of great prizes for that. We already had someone enter her mitts pattern. So, woohoo.
Pretty awesome. Good job.
Yep. So round up.
I guess we're rounding up. So
round
I'll
up.
let you do your thing.
Round up.
Round up.
The Yarnivore podcast is still collecting or doing this pet blanket along, and you can send them here. And I think on the last treatment of Fuji, we'll take our big pile down.
Yep.
If they'll fit in the car.
Yeah, stuff the trunk full and.
Yeah, I think one big, because I would love to get a picture of all of them.
Yeah.
So.
Put Fuji in the center.
Oh, yeah. So I know Sadie, a Yarnivore podcast, has tons of prizes. So get on over there and enter. And so you have till the end of February, because she's not like Blip. She won't cut you off. So.
What do you? Oh, I guess. So are we wrapping it up then? Is that it?
That's why we're in Roundup.
Okay. Well, sometimes you continue.
Well, I'm sure something else will pop into my head.
All right. Well, I just wanted to remind you that we still have the Fuji Fight Like a Girl buttons in our shop. You can pick those up. We use that money to help pay for the treatment for Fuji. We also have our Wolf Farm Video podcast button. These are available for free with any paid order. When you're checking out, you can put in the comment section that you would like us to send you one. We'll be happy to stick that in your package when we're shipping that off. And I think that's about it.
Yeah.
So
we have Valentine's coming up this coming Friday, so.
Yeah, so better order quick so you can get some good.
Even thinking of Wolf Farms.
Get your Valentine's good stuff.
I was just going to say share the love.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean, even a romantic way. You can share love with your friends. Send them a surprise, a smile in the mail.
There you go. So.
Don't do the so. Yeah, I'm the so. So until next time.
Let's get cracking.
Hatching it.
Bye, y'all.